Excellent. Back at last.
Hey.
All right. So let's kind of dive right in because we have a lot to get through, and hopefully we can get some story out today. We are short one lizard doctor who will hopefully... It's not on that on purpose, Nexus. I appreciate it, though. So hopefully we can. I'm sorry, we're short a little. We're short Doc this week. Our Doc. I keep doing it. We are short the player who plays Othokent, who is a doctor, not Doc the player. Gobs will be driving Othokent for this session. Yep. So we will hop in and get going there. So I literally just had this up on purpose, and I moved my stuff so I wouldn't have to do this. How do I lose this every stinking time? Okay. Go ahead.
I'll just say that when John comes back, we might need a flashback to this point, because I remember him saying that he did want to have words with Gobs about what happened during this fight. So we might end up with a flashback once he's back.
Sure.
Okay.
When last we saw our heroes, Nate the Human Ranger, Gobs the Kalishtar Warlock, Othokent the Lizardfolk Life Domain Cleric, Talah the Half-Orc Druid, and Abraham the Human Wizard. Our group came upon a village that had been attacked by bandits with the symbol of the Band of the Open Hand. They found out that these bandits had been ravaging the area, destroying other villages, farms, towns, looting everything to provide supplies for the war front. Everyone except for Talah took off in pursuit of the bandits, as Talah stayed behind in what was left of this burned out village to help them rebuild. Our group took advantage of the opportunity to actually be heroes. They found the aforementioned bandits, were able to destroy them to a man with ease, and recover not just the stolen goods, but also several of the people who had been carried off. So, as they return back to the village, hopefully bringing much needed supplies and relief at the emotional distress of loss. But before we get to their grand arrival, Talah.
Yes.
Let's talk about what you've been doing. So,
Sure.
As the rest of the group went off to hunt the bandits, you stayed back. So fill us in on your first day of helping in this burned down, ravaged village with plenty of hurt, wounded, and hungry. What did you do on your first day to help them out?
Well, my first day was in the theme of immediate aid and assessment, where I created some good berries and helped them to get some clean water, both for drinking and cleaning. Of course, healing people where necessary with use of various spells, mending some small broken items, some tools to possibly help with, repairing and rebuilding other stuff. And also, wild shaping into whatever animal was necessary to aid transporting injured villagers to a central location or such things. That was my first day. And then, 1 second, because I also have to scroll through the stuff that we've been talking about, Soundscream. Yeah, that is just the first day.
So, on the second day, you continued much of the same, but
Yes.
an interesting person strolled into town. Well, not strolled. They were riding on an elemental powered, those old 18th century bicycles that had the giant front wheel and the really tiny back wheel? He was riding one of those. Yeah, whatever he just said.
Bike.
Bike. Old bike.
Very old bike.
Yeah, me and Ari aren't smart enough to do those fancy words. Xerxes,
I just don't want to do the fancy word. It's a bike.
velocipede.
That sounds like some type of either like
Insect.
cow, venereal disease, or a bug. right? But
So it's a
anyway,
bike.
Funny and Danish.
so would you like to share with the group who came riding in on that? On an
Well-
elemental powered one of those.
Of course, it's someone that we love dearly, a certain dwarf that showed up and magically moved his lab into town.
Yeah, so Dryden came
Yeah.
riding in, ran into Nari. They had a good conversation in which he went and opened a briefcase he had with him that continued to unfold itself multiple times over to reveal his lab. And in using his lab, he has been assisting Nari over these last several days,
Yes.
as he is able to create just about anything you need. So he's been helping, or any non-living materials. So nails, boards, sharpening plows, things like that. All of those kind of construction materials and things like that he has been producing over the last several days.
And here's the kicker. The reason he got to do that is because Eno showed up at his doorstep after Carrie left and gave him instructions to help me, and those override anything Carrie told him to do.
Yep, so he is no longer directly reportable to Carrie.
Yep.
Awesome.
Carrie can go himself.
So over the next several days between you and Dryden, you actually are able to very much rebuild the destroyed buildings. More and more people from the surrounding areas start to get word that that there's food and help here. So people are pouring in. Lots of hands that are able to help. By the time the rest of the group gets back, not only will the damaged buildings be rebuilt, the village will have grown by probably 15 to 20 buildings, because there's so many people in the surrounding areas whose homes and little villages and little crossroads areas have been so utterly destroyed, they're kind of fleeing to the only safe place. But yeah, you guys are able to till some fields. Again, with the magical assistance and things you have, not only were you able to plant food, you were able to hasten its growing to where on the 5th day, which will be the same day everybody gets back, you will actually be having a harvest. Is there anything else, Nari, you would like to do or point out that you've done over those couple days before the group gets back?
Well, I've been doing something else which you know about, which I would like to not tell the rest of the group just yet.
That's fine.
And I think that will be it.
Excellent. So, for the group that went to deal with the bandits themselves, you are returning expecting to find, a village still in ruin, an exhausted Talah, who's been spending all of her healing. And when you come back, you do find an exhausted Talah, but you find a tremendous number of people that weren't there in the reconstructed area and the freshly plowed and now being harvested fields. So it's you guys are actually a little like, you knew Talah was good, but you didn't realize that just Talah could have this kind of an impact over such a short amount of time. And that's where we'll pick up. So you guys are on the wagons, riding back, returning with the goods and the people. As you enter the outskirts of the town, you can see, you were obviously spotted coming in, and there are people running out looking for their lost loved ones. Some people, in wide-eyed astonishment that their mothers, sisters, wives, brothers, children have returned, and then seen some who had that light of hope in their eyes and going through a second grief as the person they're looking for is not present in the survivors that are returning. And that's where we'll pick up. So the whole group's back together. There you go. What would you guys like to do?
Did we find any bodies there? People who didn't make it.
There wouldn't have been any there, because they wouldn't have carried them with them. So if somebody died on the way back to that place, they would have just been left where they fell.
Okay. Since I did have the soul of the leader sort of under my command after the fight, could I have forced him to show us where they would have put some of them so we could try and get as many people back to their families to be buried with them and such as possible?
They would have been so inconsequential to him, he would not have even taken even the slightest mental note of where they were.
Okay, so no big mass grave or anything.
No, it was just as they marched out, if somebody keeled over dead, they just left them there, wherever they fell.
Fair enough. That reminds me, what actually happened to a soul after the rest was up? I know the normal rule states that they'll get to pass on then, but I seem to recall something else happening.
Yeah. They would not have passed on. They would have been devoured into the abyss.
Yeah, snack for the void.
Yay! Yep. Nom nom arm.
Now I have actually eaten a person.
You already had.
Yeah, arguably.
Sure.
So, despite some of the sadness of people not returning, it is a much better, much more cheerful mood. Doc, you're making an awful lot of noise, homie.
Let me put myself to push the talk. It's likely the fan.
Yeah, well, no, I just didn't want to hear you sucking snot up your head.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that.
But you can see as people are starting to prepare, a small festival is getting going. As it is cause for celebration. There's food. There's people that are healed. The town is back on its feet and actually growing and in a better place than it was before the open hand bandits attacked. So that evening is going to be kind of a festival. You can see people gathering food and drink and, reuniting with friends, exchanging stories. You hear people talking about all the different things that have happened. What would you guys like to do with your evening?
I mean, you know about one thing Talah's doing.
Yep. And obviously, Talah would have relayed to all of you that Dryden is here.
And about the whole override thing.
Dryden, remind me who Dryden is again.
He's
the dwarf whose wife got sent back to hell.
Okay, that guy, yeah. Okay, I'm
She
with you
wasn't
now.
a succubus. She was an Aranese. There's a difference.
I'm just saying. It's the gist of it.
Aranese?
What?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's Dryden. He's here.
Okay,
and his lab's here too.
How's he doing, given everything?
I think he's mostly preoccupying himself with different matters to kind of be distracted. Or at least it felt like that.
Yeah, it would make sense given everything. I really do feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, I can't help but feel guilty about it too.
I mean, I don't think we had any way of knowing or being able to stop it.
No, but that doesn't take away the feeling of guilt.
I know I'm trying to take it away, and I know it's not working.
Unfortunately not.
We're finding a way.
Well, we're doing our best, at least.
Well, I'm gonna go show Exodorius all the happy people, so they know that all this led to something. Anyone want to come?
Show them... Huh. Sure.
Yeah, and it's. I think it needs to see other parts of the world than just the people we fight and what happens to them. It needs to see that it leads to something.
Right.
Not a bad idea. I'll keep an eye on you.
What's that, Otho? You need help cleaning your medical supplies? Sure.
I imagine Otho would be busy either helping people who need healing or, he is a priest, so saying nice things for the people who aren't there, impromptu funerals, things like that. I imagine
Yep.
he's preoccupied.
I would definitely agree with that. That he would be doing all of those sorts of.
Yeah, it's more Talah not wanting to walk around town with the arm because she's still kind of cautious about it. So she's just pretending to be like, "Oh, Otho called me over. Okay."
I look
The
forward
fake.
to.
Let's get away from this situation.
I look forward to someone telling Talah what the arm did during the fight.
No. Please don't tell me.
I mean, you're eventually gonna see it.
Not knowing is just better. Ignorance is bliss and all that.
So you guys jump in, and I want you guys to picture what you see is going to be like. You guys have all seen The Lord of the Rings, read the books. It's kind of like Bilbo's birthday party level of there's streamers now put up. There's food everywhere. There's people laughing. There's guys in bandages, talking to people, laughing about. It's like, oh yeah, it got me real good. Look at that, right in the arm with a pitchfork. Why were they using pitchfork? I don't know. Having those kind of conversations. Kids are smiling and laughing. Cakes, pastries, food. There's not much in the way of like ale and wines and stuff like that. There's some that you were able to bring back to be recovered. But yeah, everybody's it's such a relief of tension. Knowing that, what happened wasn't fun, but we're all okay. Right? Everybody who's here is okay. Yesterday we thought it was the end of the world. Today we know that things continue and there's hope. In fact, one of the village, the kind of elder village guy that you talked to the first time you came through is going to come up to the group of you. Are you guys all kind of there as a group, or are you all spread out?
I think at this point we're spread out.
I imagine during the festivities we're likely spread out, but when it comes time to eat, I imagine we'd gather.
Yeah, you guys have all kind of gone and done your different things, right? Abraham was magically cheating at cornhole, things like that. Nate was legitimately winning at cornhole. Talah has been making little flower crowns for all the girls and a couple of the boys who just like, oh, I love flowers, and Talah's awful pretty, so they're like, a pretty girl wants to give me flower crown. I'm in that line, right?
And then Pip gets jealous and also wants a flower crown.
Yeah, Nate has a flower crown. He doesn't remember it being put on him. It's been.
Oh
it's
yes,
been
that
good
would
time.
definitely be a thing.
Yep, without a doubt. So, but yeah, so and then everybody gathers up for food, and the mayor is gonna step in and goes, first and foremost, I would like to thank our friends who came from out of town and decided to, even though this was not their home and not their problem, they stood up for those that needed them, brought many of our loved ones back, punished those that did this terrible thing to us, and have given us hope. Everyone, yay, hooray, hooray, woo. Know that all of you will always have a home here and will always be welcome. I have talked to the Grand Master Craftsman, Dryden. He is going to stay here to help us continue to recover. and it will help with training and provide materials for the village. And he goes, yay, Dryden, yay, Dryden. He's got like a hot dog in each hand, right? And he's kind of
A flower crown on his head.
Flower crown, right? Yeah, of course, like still has his welding goggles on, and you can tell he can't really see the hot dogs. And he's like poking himself in the, and he hears his name and just kind of waves a hot dog at everybody because he didn't take his welding goggles off, so he can't see anything. Because he's absent-minded at times.
He's Dryden.
Is he waving towards a wall instead of the people?
Yeah, he's waving towards an empty field. Hey, thank you.
He's Dryden.
Yes.
Come on.
Also, we have decided that this particular village is no longer what it was. We are now a gathering of everybody in the region, and as such, we have decided to change the name, because the village that was here has been destroyed, and through the efforts of our friends and our heroes and our neighbors who came from afar, we built something new and something different. So this will now be the village of Estelle, which is Elvish for hope. There's like, hey, 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 and they all cheer. So I'd like to thank all of you.
Sorry. One guy in the back, screw the elves. Hey, shut up.
Like, all will be welcome here. We will give generously as we have been given to generously. And we thank all of you. Let's enjoy our evening. Celebrate those who returned. Remember those that are gone. And be thankful that we are still here, and we will do everything we can to help Master Dryden and his projects, and also to help our heroes. Dig in! And everyone's like, yeah, that's what we've been waiting for, and they all start eating.
So how many people can I hit with one fireball? No.
I didn't ask how big the city
Abraham
was.
can answer that question. That's a calculation at all times. Say that again, Talah?
I didn't ask how big the town was.
It was
said I cast fireball.
Oh. So the festivities go on. Desserts are handed out. Fires eventually start to die down. People are carrying off sleep. Kids got so full on snacks and sweets and food and everything, they just kind of fell asleep in the grass. So you see a dad carrying 3 children, 2 in one arm, 1 in the other, all 3 of them with their little flower crowns. I don't know what your flower crowns are in your mind, but like here we have clover that grows, and the clover flowers is what I'm picturing the flower crowns being made out of, these little white flowers. So it's pretty neat. But yeah, so carrying up all the kids, every one of you have been given thank yous and hugs, and we appreciate yous. Abraham, even you, in your grumpy demeanor. The children especially have tried to bug Abraham. He's like, you look like my grandpa, but you fight like my dad. Right, stuff like that. So
maybe I am your dad.
I don't think so. But yeah. So anything else anybody would like to do during this evening of celebration?
Dance with Pip.
And Nate was playing. So I can see Nate, he's in mid-song, and you just walk by and hook his arm and pull him up to his feet.
Pretty much.
All right, so I need...
Okay.
I need both of you to give me either an athletics, acrobatics, or performance check of your choice.
My acrobatics is the best out of those 3. So, here goes nothing. Oof! No!
Nate, I also need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Because I'm going to step on
Don't
your
worry,
feet
I'm
so
gonna
many times.
save both of us.
Are you? You are! Maybe. If our DM is kind.
All right, I didn't mean that to be caps to you, Doc.
Roger that.
No. Yeah. So Talah, despite all of her many talents, she has like 3 left feet. But Nate, this is not the first time you've danced with her. It's been a while. So, but still, you know how to stay on your toes to keep your toes in working condition.
Yes. I will twirl her around as much as he likes.
Awesome. So as you guys start to wear out a little bit, the band's actually starting to play down. The fires have died down. All that's left, some of the more grizzled men who had participated in the fight and even helped you guys are still sitting around drinking a little bit. The elders are still around. You guys all kind of end up at a table together, relaxing a little bit. As this is possibly the last real moment of downtime you guys have before your next phase of your journey.
I'm guessing no one's really drunk since there wasn't a lot of alcohol available, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Good. Guys, you think we could have a word a bit to ourselves?
Okay.
What do you, okay.
Look,
Private like?
Yeah, preferably.
I mean, you guys are at a table that's off to the side.
Yeah. Hey, so one of my friends from the city texted me while we were on the way back. There's a bounty on me. 100,000 gold bounty on me right now. It went live 3 days ago.
100. That's. Wait.
Who?
You remember those people on the docks in Neap that we kind of ran over?
What?
No, not my mom. The other people, the ones in the fancy outfits.
The invisible ones?
Yeah, those.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they put out a bounty on me. So I
But
just
that's
want...
an absurd amount.
Yes. What's more is that I think I know where to find their place of operation.
So what you're suggesting we just go to them?
I'm suggesting we finish our business here. Once we go back, then yes, I suggest we strike first and we strike hard.
Won't that just up the bounty more? I mean, yeah, place of operations, but they won't all just be there, right?
No, but I don't think they suspect I know where they are or that I know how to get to them.
And they're all like really bad people, right?
Let me show you this, Nate. And she's gonna hand you the printout she got from the tower in the desert. This is a list of people who were experimented on and killed to create me. There's over 100 people here.
Yeah, okay.
And I have memorized every name on this list. So no, they're not good people. The thing is that I can't really go to the authorities because the evidence I have is I exist. They tried our life. They tried our life once, and that's about it. So either we wait for them to attack and do that a few times until it's done publicly, or we strike first and hope to eradicate them.
And hope to not get another bounty. Or a bigger one.
I mean, eventually we're going to be causing them so much property damage that it's not worth it.
You hope.
Yeah, that's what I'm betting on. Because what is the alternative? I hand myself over.
Maybe I've spent too much time with you, but the thought honestly occurred to me, like, giving you up, not in, like, okay, that came out wrong, but, like, having the payday, getting the 100,000, and then just wrecking them.
Pip.
Who's to say they wouldn't teleport her away immediately and we'd never
I-
see
I-
her again?
I know, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm not saying that's what we're gonna do. It's just a thought that occurred to me, and I feel like I'm influenced by Gobs.
I understand why you'd think that, and as much as I'd like to spring that on them, given how skittish they are at this stage, I think if you were to hand me over, I'd be in a position where I would need saving immediately to not fully die. These list what they do to people who have the same kind of a thing that I have in me. She sort of does that nod with her head towards the arm. Normally, this thing kills people within a few months. It hasn't done that to me. It is me, so I don't know what they do, but I don't think I'd survive. And I don't know what it would do. And I don't think it would like the idea, and I don't think I like the idea.
Does it remember anything about them?
Yes, we remember things about them. Flashes and images and a lot of stabbing pain. A lot of people dying and a lot of repetition. And a room filled with cylinders with, fetuses in various states of mutation or non-mutation. People being forcefully impregnated who supposedly signed up, but given what I'm reading, I doubt all of them did.
That's from Roscoe's sheet, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So then the follow-up question would be, what would it do?
So you mean, what would this thing normally do to a person?
No, I mean that you can talk to it, so...
Ask.
All right.
I will say, with your waking mind, at most you get raw emotion feedback from it.
Yeah,
You don't get to have like a full conversation.
Yeah, I know that.
And I will tell you, the whole time you're talking about all of that, there is a lot of anxiety, would be the feeling you're getting from it. It's angry, but also scared at the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to say that I can't exactly talk to it word by word. Normally, I just sense how it feels. And currently, it's both angry and very anxious. I'd need to actually have a good restful night to be able to speak with it properly.
Othokent is going to chime in here and go. We'll add that to our to-do list, but
yeah, I'm saying we shouldn't focus on it now. I'm saying this is what we can do when we're done with our current business. Also, remember that bounty hunter panther-looking guy?
Yes.
He would absolutely jump at any bounties related to any of us, I imagine.
I do believe so. I believe that he even left a note saying that. Remember?
Yes, so take solace in the fact that we may meet him sooner than we expect and be able to do bad things to him.
And Othokent stands and goes, well, I'm going to get some sleep. I must get up early. And tomorrow we head to the hills.
Yeah.
And he walks over to each of you. There've been like 3 houses. 3 of the new houses that have been built are dedicated for you guys. So he heads to one of them and goes inside to rest.
Talah has left flowers in each room.
So 3 houses. That is one for Otho, who wakes up early in the morning. Talah, you'd prefer not to sleep in the same house as me, I imagine.
It's not particularly you.
I know, but this thing is me, so you're gonna have to refer to us as one. I can't take it off.
Well, you can't take it off, but you're 2 identities.
I think that is becoming less and less the case with each day.
Don't say that.
That's discouraging.
No, I
Talah,
don't
I
mean that
need
in
you
a
to
bad
give
thing,
a
in a bad way.
perception check.
Wait.
Talah specifically.
What is up with my rolls today?
Do you have inspiration?
No, I don't.
It's gonna be obvious, but you'll be the one that notices it. The runes that are on Gob's arm, the very last one that's up by the shoulder, has changed shape. It's a flower.
Aw.
And it's the same kind of flower that would have come from the bush that it tried to give to you as an apology.
Okay. Oh boy. Did
But it's
that like
adorable.
just shift or
This is the first time you're noticing it, but
okay?
it's not like a super accurate drawing of it. It'd be like if a dwarf made a rune modeled after that flower.
Okay, so it's
Not
very
because it's
sharp
one of those
edges.
sharp edges and whatnot, but it's one of those things like because you're so into plants, you're like, oh, that's obviously that flower.
Yeah, it's a toddler that tried to draw a flower.
Yes.
So I'm thinking either we put Abraham in the same room as Talah, or Nate and Talah. I mean, you guys grew up together. You've likely slept in the same bed before. You seem like the type who would have sleepovers.
I mean, we shared a tent multiple occasions.
Yeah, there we go. You have the house together.
Sure. Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
if you're okay with that.
If you
Right.
if you two are okay with that arrangement, then yes. Besides, I don't think Nate wants to share the room with me. I sleep in the nude and I fart.
We know.
Yeah.
I've been doing that around all of you.
Yeah, which makes even weirder that your arm dragged you out into a rainy night to grab a bush while you were completely naked.
Farting the entire time.
You know, I'm naked walks during the night while I fart is actually surprisingly common.
Well, it wasn't a walk exactly. You were dragged.
Yes, I realize that much. I'm just saying that naked walks at night while farting is normal.
What's impressive
I am
is how long you
getting
can hold the
severely
same
more
tune.
uncomfortable with every word that comes out of your mouth right now, Gobs.
It's just goblin. It's just goblin culture.
Sure. You tell
Sure.
that lich that next time you see him.
I will make sure to tell him that taking midnight walks in the nude and farting free, yes, you like, is goblin culture.
Yes.
And then we stab him.
No.
Wait, which are we talking about? The lich we killed on the way to Gilgamesh, or the other
No.
lich?
All right.
The
And at
flirty
this
one.
point, everybody's getting tired and going to sleep.
Sanskrit doesn't want to let us continue the shenanigans.
Cast sleep.
This particular shenanigans, no. Is there anything other? Talah, I obviously know. Now, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is.
How do you plan on handling your project?
Let's see.
Are you going to skip a night?
Project?
It's none of your business,
Shush.
depending
Shush.
on how she does.
I'm gonna think about how I'm gonna do this. So, how many rooms are in the house, and what kind of rooms are there?
There'd be a front room, a kitchen, a bathroom, and a bedroom.
Okay.
So nothing overly complex. And it's not big. It's like 1,200 square feet. Which is like 83 square kilometers or something. I don't know. I'm terrible with metric system.
Okay. Well, I know Nexus doesn't metagame, so I think I would just wait for Nate to go to sleep
Mm-hmm.
and kind of sneak out of the bedroom.
You know
And
he's
then-
a light sleeper.
Shh.
I need you to do... So you're going to do a stealth check
Yes.
versus his passive perception. But I'll
While
give
he's
you advantage,
asleep.
But I'll give you advantage because he's sleeping.
With my rolls today, this is gonna go poorly, I think, but we're gonna do it anyway.
2 and 2.
You're gonna crit.
Look at
Okay,
this!
I'm
Look at
pretty
this!
sure that beats his passive perception.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, so sneak
Alright,
out,
and
go
yeah,
into the
and just-
bathroom, lock it if possible,
and do your thing.
do the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the bathroom and do the stuff. She's
You guys don't
farting.
know what this is, so
yeah,
it's really weird.
Before she
But
Yeah, just keeping up that illusion.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you remember what to do, so just send me that info. But yeah,
I mean, this is still that 5th day, right?
yes, it would.
Because
be
in
the
that
fifth
case,
day.
I already
Yeah.
sent it to you.
You already sent it. Yep. All right.
And then, do I even have like a bag of holding I can put this shit in?
No.
I would say during this stage until we get to the end of stage 1, it would still be. Man, these guys are going to make this awful. It's going to be soft and pliable. So you could put it in a bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nexus, I love that you don't know what this is about.
Uh-huh.
I hate all of you. I hate all of you so very much.
She chose the bathroom. She could have gone anywhere
because
else.
I can lock that. And I
Mhm.
don't want Pip to find out what the hell it is that I'm actually doing right now. Doesn't make it any better, but still.
I don't want Pip to know that I poop. I have to collect it in a bag so he doesn't see.
I mean, isn't it a thing where guys just say that girls don't poop at all?
No.
Anyways,
Oh god.
fertilizer gathered. Next.
Yep. So the next morning, as everybody gets up, again, the village is providing food and supplies. Othokent's been up and has already gathered everything, so he'll have any material component he needs. So don't worry about tracking that if you utilize any of his capabilities. Does anybody talk to the locals at all about where you're going?
No. I don't.
Talk to I would attempt to talk to random people about the Tombwhisper Hills, and I'd be as blunt as possible the entire time. What do you know about the Tombwhisper Hills? You know, what's up there? Have any of you been up there? How about you? Have you been up there? What do you know?
Give me an investigation check with disadvantage.
The fact that Carrie can follow us and torture these people into telling him stuff is...
Oh, nice.
So, what you find out is the ancient lore is that it used to be a temple to the Raven Queen, but something happened in the distant past, like 1,000+ years ago, and it was turned into something much, much, much worse. Nobody goes there, but as you get closer to it, everything begins to be dead. The grass, the trees, everything. They tell stories about, ghost birds and deer with no flesh, and giant spiders made of bones, and flowers and plants that if you try to touch them will like eat your soul and stuff like that.
Yes, Nexus.
So lots of folksy doom and gloom stories. I've got a cousin who, didn't believe it, and he thought, those old catacombs and tombs might have a bunch of gold in it, so he went off there, and we never saw him again. And then we found a zombie wearing his shirt he was wearing like 6 years after that kind of stuff.
Okay. Thank you. That is significantly easier than I thought. More people don't want to talk to me. And I relay all that to the group. So here's what I found. Raven Queen. Turned into something, temple. Turned into something much more worse. Bone thingies and monsters and flowers of unique kinds and all sorts of weird stuff going on. Nobody goes up there anymore.
Sounds dreary. But hey, flowers. Right, Talah?
Did you not hear what he said?
It's a place of death and doom.
Yeah. Dreary, but flowers. Stay positive.
Well, come on then. Let's
Right.
gather our things. Time's a wasting. Not getting any younger,
I mean-
Actually, you did.
Yeah, you specifically did.
That's besides the point. I'm still aging.
Are you?
Emotionally?
Yes.
Are you even much
Emotionally.
older than I am at this point?
Mentally.
I mean, are you sure this isn't a Benjamin Button thing at this point? Like you're getting
What is a
younger by the
button?
day? A button, for clothes?
Yes, but what's a Benjamin?
That's a guy.
And what does a button man have to do with anything?
I
That's a
heard
very good
Benjamin
question.
was a paper slip.
Hmm?
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do before you start to leave Estelle?
Yes, Abraham, I had a question. When will I get a beard like yours?
You're a girl. You don't get beards unless goblins get beards. Do goblins get beards?
I don't know. Do they?
I don't. Maybe.
On a check.
I like that knowledge about goblins is an arcana check.
You don't know. If
Yeah,
your
maybe.
goblins get beards.
Can I,
How old
while
are
they're
you?
talking about that whole thing, kind of druid craft a little bit of a vine beard growing on Milla's face?
Like out of her skin.
No. More like it's entangled beneath her ears, so it's kind of just hanging there.
Yeah. Give me a spell attack.
Spell attack?
Yeah.
Why?
For precision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, now I have to figure out how that worked again. Just
You-
a
you
Goes
bling
across
make
her
a-
entire
a-
face and she's blind.
You want to make a beard, not pubes.
It's a merkin.
Okay. I think this is it. I'm unsure. I'm just gonna roll this and then we'll find
Yeah.
out.
Okay. Gobs, give me a perception check.
Coming right up. Once I actually have my sheet. That was Otho.
All right, you're able to do it. Gobs, you do not notice it. So as you're talking to her, Abraham, a green vine begins to grow around Milla's jaw and sprout moss down,
Yep.
giving her a old man beard.
I don't know much about goblins, but it seems that maybe you've hit puberty.
I did that years ago. What are you talking?
Well,
Tal
puberty is
just
when
has the
you have
biggest
like
smirk on her face.
you go through that change, but you've gone through another change. I mean, even further changes. I know you had the arm and all that, but you gestures to her face.
You do feel amusement coming from the arm.
Huh. I'm gonna reach up and like touch the face.
I amused the arm.
It's green. I mean, it matches your skin
I'm growing a beard.
very quickly. Even did that hurt?
No, it tickled a little.
As it has stopped growing, the vines have hardened a little bit, and you now have a mossy kind of clip-on beard where it hooks over your ears, so you can take it off if you want to.
I imagine it'll be a bit before she notices it functions like that.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys would like to do?
So how are the village's food stores and hunting looking?
Very good. So all of Talah's work helped them with that. They were able to even gather some lost herds. So they've got their cattle and sheep back. And the harvest has filled up 2 of the new barns. So they've got plenty of food currently, and you can see them out in the fields prepping the next planting.
Well,
So
that's
that
great.
combined with the goods that you guys brought back, they should be fantastic.
I am utterly useless. Great.
What?
Let's move on.
You're not useless.
You saved over 100 people, but sure, you're useless.
Sobs in his oatmeal.
Hey, look! It's
Finally,
salty.
seasoning, seasoning for it. Finally.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I definitely thought it.
Yes, cry more, Nate. Cry more.
The flavor.
Tastes better. Why does it taste so much
All right.
better?
So, as you guys begin to leave the town,
What the
Nate.
hell?
would you like to give us a survival check to determine the direction to head towards the Tombwhisper Hills?
Sure, but now they've emotionally compromised me, so I don't know how this roll is gonna go.
You got this, Nate.
All right.
Just remember
I'm
your
crying
seasoned
right now.
oatmeal. So tasty.
Okay. And again, feel free to stop me as I explain how things are happening if there's something you guys want to interrupt and try or do. So you guys begin to head off to the southeast towards the Tombwhisper Hills. The day's travel progresses just fine. Based off the map and everything, you're about 3 days away from it. Towards the end of the evening, you guys kind of get to a line. So you're kind of walking through a field. Abraham, I will tell you, there's a point where Roscoe says, "Nah, I'm not flying past this," and flies back to you.
What's wrong?
There's something strange.
Stranger than what's here with us.
In your neighborhood.
Dangerous strange.
I'm not, not to you maybe, but danger strange up ahead. So says the bird.
So as you guys progress to that point, you think of it like you're in an open grass field, and when you get to this specific line, you can see it's literally a line where grass healthy, grass is absolutely dead. But it's not like just dry grass. It is gray, drained of all essence type of grass. As you look out, you see trees. And Talah, if you would like to give me a nature check, I can tell you more potentially about the trees that you can see.
All right. I am done. Okay.
Yeah. So I can. So let me tell you what you can see from a distance. Where are they? Nope. Where did my trees go? I've got them in my notes.
I want to help.
Somewhere. Nope, that's too far back. too far forward. Where are they? Because I had a name for these trees. Give me a second. Come on. Here we go. This is going to be it. So you can see that the bark on them is dark, almost black. It's not quite black, but it's very, very dark. Very deeply grooved, very twisted. There's not many leaves, but the ones you see are very much like end of fall, super dead looking leaves, right? And that's what you can see from a distance. You'll have to get closer if you want to see them.
Mm-hmm. I'll wait for the group to start getting closer to take another look.
Unpleasant place. Must be a source of great power in there.
Dreary doesn't quite cut it, does it?
Not really.
I mean, we were going to a place of death, right?
Yes.
If
Presumably.
anybody would like to give me a religion check.
I'm trained in it.
Ah,
Also going to roll for Othos. Give me a moment.
oh, please, Otho, save us. After Abraham has done his thing, you can also do it. The true religious person. Never mind.
Abraham,
Yes.
you've read about things like this before. This very much lines up with what you would expect desecrated ground to feel and look like.
It's actually desecrated ground to the god of undeath. God of death, or one of the gods of death.
Desecrated ground.
Okay. This ground is heavily desecrated.
So someone pooped here?
No, that's disrespected. And this is desecrated, as in they religiously turned it against its original purpose.
Really good description, by the way.
I see. So, is that dangerous to walk on, or?
Not inherently, but those who are dedicated to gods not of the god that this is desecrated under the name of or against or whatever. Other religious people may feel uncomfortable.
Well,
I guess pooping on things is kind of say if somebody went into a temple and pooped on things, kind of like ruined the religiosity of the temple by desecrating it. It's kind of like that, and therefore the god's like, "Ooh, I don't want to be here anymore. This is nasty." So the god leaves its presence, and so the god's presence is no longer there.
what if it was a god of nature and you said you were fertilizing it?
There's some respect and some rituals involved with fertilization rituals, I believe.
Okay.
You can see that Othokent is obviously uncomfortable.
Does your blood run cold? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect your race.
Otho, would you rather wait here by the edge?
No. I've been tasked to come here by two separate gods, mine and the adopted sister of my god. I must continue.
All right. Well, in that case, I say let's be quick about it. We know what we're here for.
So, Nate, you know that you're still about a day and a half of travel away from where
Yeah.
you're trying to get to, which means you are going to have to camp past this line at some point. So keep that in mind. And it's going to be very important from this point forward. I need to know what kind of order you're in as you guys cross the line into the desecrated ground.
Pretty sure Nate will still be leading.
Okay. Nate, I want either a perception or investigation check as soon as you take about 2 steps in.
Oh, come on.
No, it's enough. Actually, let me do this. I do want you to do that with advantage, specifically because of what this is. It's something you would be good at. Close enough.
Wow.
You're gonna notice as you step, the grass doesn't make a crunching sound or anything like that. But when you look back, it's like if you've ever tracked something through like volcanic ash, your footprints are incredibly obvious. Like the matter that this grass is made out of instantly turns to ashy powder. So there is no hiding your tracks.
Actually.
You say that.
High five.
I mean, you can do that if you would like to run that for the next 2 days.
I mean,
I
we don't
can't do
have
that
enough
for
for
2
the
days.
next 2 days.
I'm just
But-
saying, anytime that's not up, you will be leaving obvious footprints.
Yeah, but if we do it in the beginning and then cast Pass Without a Trace a couple times, and then there's another piece of tracks, then it would be fine, I think.
Nate would do it for the first 2 hours, simply so that we're a good part in.
Yeah, and then I would wait an hour before casting
Now,
mine.
I will also say, right at this edge, it's getting dark. So
Yeah.
it's early evening when you get to this line.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be camping now.
I
Do you
think
want
I
to
would
camp in the
prefer.
dead fields?
I mean, I would prefer camping before we go into the dead fields.
We're still
Yeah.
about a day's or a bit more away, so we're gonna be camping anyways.
Yeah, I'd say let's camp before the uncomfortable area then.
And
We can scan out into the horizon to see if we can spot anything we might face in there.
and we are going to be very obvious. We're going to be leaving trails, and there's not really much in not being visible.
I mean, we could like do zigzaggy stuff, so that, and then intersperse it with your trail disappearance stuff.
And then add more time to the actual journey and having to camp in there, maybe even twice.
Well, yes.
I want a couple other things. I'm just going to tell you guys, you notice this again between the survival, nature, arcana things that are all present here. Even though it's twilight, something you also notice. There's almost kind of like a perpetual fog that you can see. It makes it hard to see things far away. And there is a lot of cloud cover, even though it was a bright sunny day. There's something that keeps this area in perpetual darkness and twilight. So even once it's daytime, you will be walking through darkness.
Yeah.
I don't suppose the eyes of the devil help any here.
No, because it's not. I mean, you still have your dark vision, but it's physical obscuring mists, not.
That is fair. It was just I had missed the fact that it was specifically missed. My bad.
Yeah, it's fog, mists, and stuff like that. All right, so you guys are setting up camp on the just a little ways in from going through. So you'll back up a ways. How far back from the line are you guys going to go back into the non-desecrated land to camp?
30 feet-ish? 30 to 50 feet, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
something like that.
Then we
Yeah,
still
so-
have... we're still not very far away from it, but a decent bit.
Yeah, and you can see like there's a slight curve to that line. So there's obviously a circular area, and you're guessing where you're headed is probably in the center of
Yeah.
where that desecrated area is. Okay,
It's
so you guys
an
set
aura.
up camp. Yeah, so you set up a camp. Are we keeping watch?
I'd say yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the best idea.
Who's taking first watch?
Well, I don't have night vision. I have human vision.
So the start to the night, would that be completely dark or not as dark?
It's twilight, so not completely dark. I mean, it's
Yeah.
getting there, but it's not there.
It would be a proper time for either Nate or Otho, I think, doesn't have dark vision either.
Abe doesn't.
Oh, Abe doesn't either.
Human.
Yes.
Are
We are filthy
Gobs
human.
and Talah really the only ones with dark vision? Shit. Okay. We need to buy a pair of like night vision goggles, and then they can just shift them between them.
Or they
And-
can just eat a little bit of my arm and gain the sight.
No.
Eat my arm, gain the sight. No, don't.
Do you really want to have
again,
someone bite your arm?
No.
Yes, she's into that. Anyways, asking again, who's taking first watch?
Abe will.
Abe will. Who's taking second watch?
Me.
Okay. And that means Otho will take third because he wants to be there when the sun comes up.
Is there only 3 watches in a full night cycle?
Mm-hmm. Typically.
Okay, I thought there was 4. My bad.
Depending on
Ooh.
how long we take the watches, but 3 works.
I've always done 3. So, all right. So everybody, you eat some of your rations. Some of the, somebody said something mean to Nate so that you have flavored oatmeal for dinner. So
We don't actually.
Nate, you remember that time you couldn't dance? No, never. I always dance. You're just lying to me because you wanted more salt. You just say put some salt in it. But yeah, so everybody beds down for the evening. Abraham, you're on first watch.
Please
Go
no.
ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay, one more.
You guys, as you don't see anything moving,
Okay.
you don't see anything. There's no sound. There's no nothing. It's almost eerily quiet. And your watch ends. Do you wake up Talah for her watch?
Yes.
Okay. Talah,
Yes.
I'm also, because you're going to be focused on the other thing,
Mm-hmm.
I do also want your perception to be at disadvantage.
That is completely fair. Yep. Sounds about right. That's fine. I am completely fine with this.
All right. You're able to do what we've talked about, and your watch goes without any issue. And Othokent will take the last watch. Doc, you want to go ahead and give us a perception roll for him?
With anything on it?
Disadvantage, because he can't see in the dark. Okay.
He doesn't
So
care.
I'm going to describe what he sees for your guys' sake. So as he's sitting there and thinking about things, and he's actually facing, he would be glaring in the right direction. So he's looking out into the desecrated area, and he does actually see some movement. So he stands up and he walks away from the camp a little bit, and he sees a deer. A normal looking deer just kind of standing there, kind of staring at him. But as the deer turns its head to the left and right, you know how like when you get like a holographic Pokemon card, as you turn at different angles, they kind of move? As it turns its head once, he can see through the flesh, the skin disappears, and he just sees muscle. And when he turns completely the other way, everything disappears except for the skeleton. So this ghastly deer is, as it moves and turns, its flesh is phasing in and out. And then, as the deer leans down and chews on this horribly desecrated grass, out of nowhere, like literally could not see it, a large, semi-transparent wolf lunges and tears the throat out of the deer. And as the deer falls and begins to die, the wolf doesn't eat the deer. It stands over it, and this dark purplish mist starts to seep out of the deer, and the wolf just inhales that spirit or that energy flowing out of the deer, and then turns and looks at Otho, and everything vanishes but the glowing eyes, those amber glowing eyes catching the firelight behind him, and then its eyes wink out one at a time and it vanishes. And startled
Yikes.
by this, Otho backs up back to where he was and begins muttering a prayer under his breath to the Morning Lord that he will arrive quicker. And you guys wake up the next morning. Talah,
Yeah.
as you wake up, I need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
You smell something on the air that is super sweet, intoxicating even, and you can't help yourself. You have to go find out what that smell is.
Might be a flower.
And the smell is leading you into the desecrated area.
So, kind of hesitant.
No, you're not.
She
Nothing matters but the smell.
Oh, okay. It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
She would still have in her head that she wouldn't forget her notebook because this might be a plant, or?
Yeah, it's something you would have noticed as you were getting up and getting ready. But you're especially sensitive to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's why you caught the whiff. And you know, Nate's cooking. Othokent, he's distracted. Let's see, Gobs and Abraham. I'll give you guys a shot at it. You want to give me perception checks?
I still had Otho selected for that.
Yeah. Reroll it for you.
Do it again. Wow.
And so both of you notice Talah grab her bag and start to walk into the brush. I do want insight checks from both of you.
For all you know, she could be taking a piss.
But what about me?
You're cooking.
You were distracted. You didn't notice. Abraham, insight. So Gobs, You do indeed believe she's going for some privacy to pee. Abraham, the Talah's a little flighty, but for her to just get up and just start walking straight towards the desecrated line's a bit odd.
Talah, come back here. We're not ready to go yet.
Completely ignores you and walks through the brush.
Guys, Talah's going.
Isn't she just going to pee?
No, she wouldn't tell us she's in there. She wouldn't go pee in there.
Right.
You're all roused and you come dashing in the direction she went. And you all get to the desecration line and you see Talah. Talah, what you see, that smell that's drawing you, you don't even notice that you've walked across the desecration line, and you find the corpse of a deer laying there, old skeletal deer laying there, but growing out of this deer is this absolutely gorgeous flower. These large, dark purple, almost black petals. And it's just got this tremendously attractive scent coming out of it. For everybody else, at this point, I need Constitution saving throws.
Oh boy. Oh no.
And one for Otho.
Oh no.
Okay, so all of you except for Nate smell you all smell it. The most rank odor of decay you have ever smelled. And you cannot help it, except for Nate. All of you begin to projectile vomit. Nate, despite this smell, you can see Talah about 30 feet in front of you, and you can see vines starting to wrap up her legs as this giant flower, that you see the same exact flower she does, but it's got a horrible stench coming from it, as it's trying to repel everybody except for its prey, as the corpse flower is attempting to eat Talah. What would you like to do, Nate? You're the only person who can act. Everybody else, it is such a horrible, noxious smell. You cannot do anything this round except for vomit.
Understandable.
So, Nate, what would you like to do? As Talah is reaching in, you can see this flower unfolding, and you can actually see like where the pestle would be is actually teeth. And they're starting to rotate like they would grind up things for it to eat. And Talah is reaching towards that center of the flower.
So the wine's already grabbing her.
Yes.
And how far away is she?
About 30 feet.
And how far away is the mouth of that thing?
Oh, she's right on top of it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And
amazing.
More feed me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. So immediately gonna do one of these.
Okay.
I meant for the description, but sure.
Gotcha.
So on this mark, pull out the bow and shoot.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Yeah,
And then he rolls a 1 and hits Talah.
What?
Well, kept her from being eaten by the plant now, didn't he?
Why are you saying that just as I'm clicking the button?
Because I can.
That hits.
Okay, it's easy to hit. Holy!
Yeah, you managed to hit square in the center of its being. And it immediately, like Talah, it it's going to take you a minute to fully get back to your senses. But imagine your first love dying in front of you. That's the emotion that Talah feels as this vine flower creature begins to curl up on itself. And then the smell hits you. I need another Constitution saving throw from you.
Hey!
So despite the smell of pure decay, you're able to keep from vomiting, and that kind of helps you snap out. I was like, wait, what? No, I don't. I mean, I love flowers, but I don't love them like that. And you understand that something's not right here. So you're still a little confused. But yeah, you immediately turn and run back to the. You turn around, you see Nate standing there. Everybody else is throwing up. They're wiping their mouths off as it ends. You're able to get control of yourself as the stench does quickly fade with the death of the corpse flower.
What just happened?
Well, Talah, you.
Just come over here. Come over here.
Kind of just a hand on her head. Like, what the hell happened? And moving back to Pep.
Oh yeah, you definitely have a headache.
Trusted to get this puke off my beard.
Resting
Like
at it?
almost ate you.
This unseasoned oatmeal tastes worse coming up.
Oh no!
Why do you keep calling it unseasoned? I bought spices. And I'm
Well, you
adding
bought them,
berries.
Did you use them? Buying them is not enough.
You guys are making the oatmeal from now on.
My head hurts.
That's such a good line. Yeah, you bought them, but did you think to use them? Ass.
Just having them next to the food doesn't make a difference.
He's just dipping the bottles.
He's trying to
making them.
put it
He's
in there
shaking
like
it, but
tea.
I shook
He
some
never-
in there. You
he
take
never-
the cap off.
Yeah, did you take the tamper evidence seal off?
You guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
responsible for your own foraging henceforth.
So you guys lose about an hour of time as you kind of get back to camp, recover, drink, let your stomach settle, actually get some nourishment in. But yeah, so
I think I lost my milk beard in the vomiting.
lost your what?
Milk beard. It's like milk tea.
Milk beard.
The fake beard made of vines.
Mhm.
Milk teeth is their term for baby teeth.
No, I get it. All right.
I'm sorry, guys.
We knew this place would be dangerous. I want to apologize. I was eaten by a cheese once. We all get got sometimes.
I think we all were hurt by food at some point.
Yeah. Also, Nate's
Apparently,
oatmeal,
you guys are hurt by oatmeal.
Nate's oatmeal is good.
Look,
I'm just
the
not a
GM's
fan
the
of
one that made the
oatmeal.
GM's the one that
sorry.
made the comment, anyways.
What did you say?
Who?
What did you say?
So the GM is what made the comment in the first place about the oatmeal tasting bad and going out.
Technically, it was Talah in the first session that she was there, but yes, it was the DM.
Look, I've been enjoying Nate's oatmeal. Besides that, it's supposed to be good for me.
So yeah, flour almost killed you.
Yes.
Yeah, that feels weird.
I mean, people always say, find the thing you love and let it kill you, but please don't do that yet.
I mean, I never intended to.
Maybe we should plug up our noses.
It seems like it might be a good idea.
Maybe.
You can use the cold oatmeal as plaster. You ungrateful bastards.
Hey, you know I'm just not a fan of oatmeal.
Well, it's time to forge on. And as my brain's gonna stop working. Othokent stands up and says, "Let's end this place." Nathaniel, lead on.
Shall do. Just Talah, get all of your stuff, not just your book.
Yeah.
He says that as he hands you a bag with your secret project in it.
Quickly snatch it out of his hands. Trying to be inconspicuous, but definitely not being inconspicuous about it.
All right. So as you guys pack up camp, put out the fire, you guys all kind of line up at that line again. Abraham, Roscoe is scared to fly in this area.
You don't have to fly.
He just wants to stay on your shoulder.
It's fine.
And Nathaniel, why don't you go ahead and give us a survival check to see how straight you can get us to the Tombwhisper Hills.
Straight as an arrow.
Very nice. Oh. So as you guys spend the day traveling, there are a couple things that you are going to notice in the distance.
Nice. It's actually 29.
Nice. Yeah, so you're straight as an arrow. It is, like I said, it's almost like dusk because of the cloud cover that stays over and the fog that's flowing through. But you do notice a couple other things as you walk through. You see in some of those dead, almost skeletal trees, gigantic spider webs with these large, probably 2 foot wide. I'm sorry. Nexus, very large spiders that you can see them well because they are stark white and their joints and everything, and they look like they're made from bone, but they're in the distance. You also see some ghostly white ravens with red glittering eyes that seem to be following you, which is a bit off-putting. Abraham, you would obviously know that's not normal behavior for ravens. You also will see more of the skeletal deer in the distance, which when you first see them, are like, oh, deer, there are living things here. And then they do that turn thing where it shifts and you see their skeletons and meat and everything. Like, okay, no, that's awful. I don't want to live here and be here anymore. Occasionally, you will see the reflective glowing eyes, pairs of eyes, just on the edge of visibility. As they reflect what little light's there as you guys continue deeper and deeper into the Tombwhisper Hills. Is there anything anybody would like to do as you guys proceed towards your destination?
So, how many hours are we traveling today?
As many as we can. Let's take as few breaks as possible here.
I will say, based off the checks and everything, Nate, you'll know that you guys are making good time. You will probably get to your destination early evening.
Yep.
So that'd be like
5 or 6 in the evening.
Yeah, so like how many hours of travel during the day? Regarding Pass Without a Trace, that would be
7, probably 8 o'clock when you get started. So that's what, 4, 10, about 10 hours.
About 10 hours. How many Pass Without Trace are you spending, Nexus?
I can only cast it 2 more times.
Okay.
Well, you had a long rest since yesterday.
Okay, so yeah, so you can spend it 3 times.
We can rest once we get there.
Yeah. I'll spend 4 and then maybe leave an hour sparsely between. So little bits of time in between. So
We
there
can
will
rush.
be prints, but there's like a large
Gap in between them.
gap in between them, making it hard to follow. So I've spent 3 spell slots on of 2nd level and one of 3rd level on this. So that would be 7 hours of pass without a trace during the day and 3 without.
Awesome.
We can rest once we get there. I have shelter.
Sounds good.
Yes.
I don't have a lot I can really use that'll help us travel.
All right.
Actually,
So-
wait, I do have a thing I can do, but I'll wait until a situation arises for that.
So you guys continue traveling throughout the day. Nothing comes close enough. Every once in a while, you'll smell. And now that you know the smell, it's easier for you to resist it. So every once in a while, some of you will smell something really sweet or really rank, and know that there's a corpse flower nearby. You're able to avoid them going forward. Everything continues as normal. You do the pass without a trace and whatnot. You start getting into an area that's very small hills that are steep and down and around, and having to go through some of these trees, and they're like, if you could talk to trees, they would be very. You can tell that they're angry and jealous of other things that live and breathe in normal forests, things like that.
I can talk to them, basically.
If you want to try, you can.
Well, there is another question that has popped into my head regarding this area and Talah,
Mhm.
whether it affects her more because she is, well, her magic basically comes from nature.
Mm-hmm.
So everything being dead here around her, whether that affects her more energy-wise or something.
Yeah, well, the thing that's weird is it's not that they're dead. It's like, basically you're walking on undead grass,
Mm-hmm.
right? And these trees aren't dead, but they're not alive. Same thing with the animals that you've seen.
So everything is
Um,
basically on the verge of dying.
Yes. Yes. So I won't say it negatively impacts you, other than, you've never been in a place like even out in the desert of Kathtul, right? There
Mhm.
wasn't much life, but
There
wasn't
was
dead.
life.
And it wasn't. Yeah. This is very much an antithesis to that. So just that feeling, that disconnection feeling.
Mhm.
It's almost like being, we're going to drop you in the middle of a country that you don't speak the language and you've got nobody there, right? How disconnected you would feel, same kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, as you guys travel, you come over a hill, and as you come through it, you start to find tumbled rocks. They're well worn because it's been a long time. But you can tell this is the outside, what would have been an outer gate of some kind. But there's no doors. Everything's, you can kind of see, rust stains and whatnot where there may have been gates here at one point, and it might have been an archway. So you can determine it's a tumbled archway that you're standing at. And beyond it, again, you find this low rubble of what used to be a stone wall, right? Beyond it, you see a graveyard, but the gravestones are so worn and tilted and twisted in different ways that you can't tell, like, who had been buried there or anything like that. All of that's been weather worn away. And as you're standing on this little hill leading into this area, you do see in the center what at some point may have been a mausoleum, but the way it's been twisted and overgrown and fallen over, it almost looks like a gaping skull with the 2 large windows on top, and what used to be a large doorway that's been cracked and broken over time of wear, and there's actually tombstones sticking out of the front of it that almost look like broken, misshapen teeth. and you stand on the precipice of the cathedral,
I would
the
like
former
to...
temple of the Raven Queen. So it's evening. It's starting to get. It's been dusk the whole time, but at this point, it's very much like that. That sin, but with where the teeth are. Imagine that being tombstones, like all those rocks and stuff are it's all tombstones rather than rocks. But yeah, so you guys are on the precipice of this. It is becoming to get darker as night falls. It never was bright, right? It was dusk all the time, but you can sense that what little light penetrates all those clouds is going away. So what would we like to do? Are you guys going to venture in to the entryway of the tomb, or are you guys going to camp out?
I think it's
Here.
best to not go into the temple just yet, with
Okay.
spell slot being spent already.
Layman's tiny hut. Go.
You're going to cast Tiny
I
Hut?
do-
That's a good call.
I do want to take a picture of the place.
Oddly enough, your battery on your phone is dead.
Well, to be fair, we have been traveling for days and I haven't charged it.
I'm gonna draw it.
Please do that instead, then.
I see Gobs wanting to take a picture, and her phone just being dead, and I take out my notebook and pencil, and I start sketching the place.
Awesome. So as you
I
guys,
appreciate
the
that a lot.
Leom and Tiny Hut is up, and you guys start to draw and prepare to rest for the evening. We are going to take a short break, mainly because I have to pee. So 5 minutes, and then we'll come back. And while we're taking the break, think of anything else you want to do in preparation for entering the tomb.
All right. I'm also going to find the bathroom quickly.
Since we're
It's over
spending
there,
the night,
found
I'm
it.
gonna see what
Huh,
spells I'm
good.
gonna prepare for today.
I've already done that. The answer is all of them.
Fireball.
Lucky
Fireball.
bastard.
Fireball.
Well, I'm
Can,
definitely taking Revivify.
can I scout the surrounding area?
You can leave the hut. You can also come back, but only the creatures I designate can do so.
Yeah. I want to check what ever is around.
Wait for the GM to come back. He's peeing.
Yeah. Are you pooping
Yes.
in the hut?
Yes.
Man.
I'm afraid to leave. It's scary out there. Nate, hold my hand. She grips hard.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, fiber is good for you.
I definitely want Moonbeam, because I don't need Pass Without a Trace right now anymore. So, let's see if I can find something else. Why do I have so many concentration spells?
Because Talah has ADHD.
She can't focus on anything, or she's hyper-focusing on one thing. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Talah had ADHD.
Want to do all the things. Yeah, with how you've described Talah, I do think there's some ADHD.
No, you don't say.
Yeah.
don't think there's
Okay, so who's singing?
what?
The usual break
Oh.
where someone sings.
I save today. I save tomorrow.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Nate wants to do something.
Okay.
Stop doing it.
So he gets down on one knee.
No.
And ties his shoe because he doesn't want to trip as he walks through all of this craggly ground.
Just needs to raise all the death flags before he goes out. No, he wants to go out and scan the surrounding area. Just for any sign of, well, not necessarily wildlife, but like other kind of life that has been around and made traces.
You're going to leave the tiny hut to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Just
And
for a
then
short
he died.
All right, we'll deal with that when everybody gets back. So once Doc and Sin are back,
Alright, I have prepped my spells.
you're all preppered.
I think so. I have so many concentration spells. Just look at my sheet right now, Soundscream. See how many C's there are, especially with second level spells. So is my
One thing
sketch
I
anything
forgot.
decent?
We'll resolve that when we get back.
Okay.
No, it has been 5 minutes.
Yes.
So, let's go ahead, since you two had things you were doing. We'll get those resolved while we wait for the others to come back.
Yeah.
As a note, Talah, I will say if you did try to talk to any of the plants or trees, you get the feeling that I told you, but they can't actually. Or let me say this: what languages do you speak? I highly doubt you speak the one that they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they did speak in words, you wouldn't be able to understand them, but you definitely get they're angry at anything that lives. They're jealous of it. There's a lot of jealousy.
The speech of Beast and Leaf is more I talk to them and they can understand me, and it is more up to the DM whether I get a feeling from them or nothing at all.
Yeah, you get that intense feeling of jealousy and hatred of all things that live.
Okay.
But as far as drawing, go ahead and give me, I guess that'd be a dexterity?
I think so.
Yeah, dexterity check.
Oh, come on, give me one win here.
If you're proficient with drawing tools.
I have painter's tools, actually.
Yeah.
So it would be a +5 instead of a +2, so it would be 3 higher,
20.
so 20.
It'd be a 20. Yeah, you're able to get a pretty good sketch of it.
I also have calligrapher's stuff, but yeah.
Nate. First and foremost, as you step outside the bubble to go do your thing, I'm gonna need a couple checks. First, I need a stealth, because I'm assuming you're wanting to do all of the stealthing. This will be with advantage in your case, because you're stalking like you would be hunting, so I'll give you advantage on that. Okay, good. Then I need an investigation or a survival.
I would go survival.
Okay, go for it.
Just normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on.
So it's weird. Like, you've been in forests and fields your whole life, and even if you can't find game, you can find traces of it. there's no traces. The only traces you find of anything moving through this area is your own footprints when you double back on them. Do need you, though, as the one thing you do notice is one of those stark white ravens land on a branch above you. I do need you to give me a wisdom saving throw, as it lets out a caw that sounds like the scream of a child in pain.
Oh no. Nate's weakness. Children.
Talah.
So wisdom saving throw, or wisdom. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so you can tell it's trying to frighten you, but it's a bird, and I know you're a bird. You're not a child or a person in trouble. But it does give you the creeps enough that you think it's probably time to go back.
Yeah.
Soundscream has a little note to our secret. I have this. And I'm unsure whether that was to everyone because I clicked the 2DM thing, but we'll find out.
Everybody.
Oh well.
But, I would say that's not going to apply because it's not going to be carved.
Oh right, yeah. Oh well.
Wait, did you have
Oh,
proficiency in that? I don't know if you are proficient in oatmeal.
I am. You gave me.
There.
Is Doc back yet?
Let's spam so the others don't see the thing I sent.
That's okay. All right. So while we wait for Doc to return, again, you guys are in Leoman's tiny hut, so there's not. You can. Are you guys going to do watches or? Because you're in a 10-foot. Isn't it 10-foot diameter, or is it radius? 10-foot radius, I think. Sphere.
10-foot radius is 20-foot diameter.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've got a small amount of room there, but you're safe. Nothing can get in without Abraham's permission. So,
Nate
what's the
would
call?
Like to have a watch at least.
Okay.
Abe's going to go to sleep.
Okay. Is Talah going to take a watch?
Yeah, I think so. Might even be slightly overlapping with Pip because she wants to talk to him.
Oh no.
Okay. So,
come on, man.
So, yeah, and we'll say that Otho takes a somewhat restless sleep. He's not gonna. This whole experience is very disjointing for him, so he's gonna try to sleep the whole night. So, we'll give Nate the first watch, Nari the second, and Gobs the third. So, Nate, as you're sitting up for watch, I do need perception check. In the night, you'll notice a couple times multiple sets of those reddish eyes blink into existence, watching you in pairs of sets of 2, 3, 4 at a time, as those ghastly wolves pop in and out of existence, patrolling not too close. Right, you can tell this is a stalking investigative type thing. They're not coming too close, but you are being watched and assessed as prey. Talah, I'm going to say you naturally wake up early enough or late enough into his shift that his watch will be done, but you'll wake up before it's time for him to bed down.
Yeah.
So you have time to talk if you want.
Did you see anything?
Just a bunch of wolves and such keeping an eye out on us.
I really don't like this place.
Yeah, understandably so. Does seem harmful in multiple ways.
I mean, I thought of helping it, I suppose, but I don't know if that's a very good idea. The
Yeah.
very essence of every bit of nature that's here is just jealous, so I feel like it would
Jealous.
turn against it.
Interesting.
I'm
yeah, I
curious,
did-
though.
Yeah.
As I druid craft a flower in my hand. I have no idea if this is going to do anything.
What kind of flower are you trying to?
A poppy.
The tiny hut prevents magical effects from entering.
From entering, but I'm already inside.
No, I'm just telling the GM in case he's considering what's going to
Yeah,
happen to
so-
that
The
flower.
poppy.
So it does pop up as a poppy, but instead of the pink or red, it comes up as a black with reddish veins through all the flowers, which is very unnatural.
Mm-hmm. And then,
Or through the petals is what I meant to say.
I'm unsure whether I can do this due to Lehman's tiny hut, but can I then, I mean, it's already crafted, toss the poppy out of the hut so it just lands in the field in front of us?
Yeah, you can exit with it. So yeah, you toss it out, and immediately upon it touching the grass, it turns to that blackish ash and just fades into nothingness.
Okay. That is, kind of what I was expecting, but I'm still not happy about it.
Yeah. I guess I was being too optimistic in thinking we could influence this place.
I mean, what scares me most is the animals around here. What if I wild shape and I become something like that?
True, that. Now you got me scared.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you shouldn't. If even your druid crafts turn out like that,
You know I'm mostly useless if I don't.
you're not useless. You have plenty of skills. And you're not harmless with a weapon. You'll do fine. Besides, you've got all of us.
I know that, but you guys should also focus on keeping yourselves safe and not having to take care of me while we're fighting something.
Well, I'm used to doing both. But I get what you're saying.
I'm just scared my magic turns against me in this place. And I'm scared to use it.
I think that you'll be fine as long as the magic you use does not
You're a
create
slave.
life.
Sorry. That was just okay.
Honestly, part of me feels like that's very Abraham. Like
Yeah.
we're talking about magic. Of course he's
Yeah, in
listening.
his sleep he hears it anyways.
Of course.
Yeah, magic is fine. Yeah.
Oh, I
I meant in
really
reference to
don't know.
keeping watch, but okay.
Right, but you're asleep and they're up. They're in the middle of their watch.
Oh, okay. It's not pre that. Gotcha.
No.
No.
Hello.
Everyone sleep besides us.
Yes.
Talah and Nate.
Yes.
And you've got third watch. Anything else you guys would like to talk about before Talah begins her watch?
Just that I do believe you should trust in yourself. Your magic is good. I don't know from where it comes, but I'm sure it's gonna be okay.
I mean, I kind of woke up with it in the Feywild. I don't know exactly where it comes from, but it seems linked to, well, nature itself.
Yeah. Well, have you tried talking to nature and asking it? You know
Not-
that wasn't it what's her name? The Wild Mother, right?
I mean, that's one of the gods that cares for nature, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea who or what is giving the help. But yeah, in any case, we're gonna be here for you. I'm here for you.
Do you think I should tell the others in the morning, too?
About your worries?
Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, it can't hurt. It's good to know when someone isn't all there. So you know what to look out for.
Speaking of which, what do I look out for right now, specifically?
Well, as far as I've understood, we are safe inside this hut thingy. But yeah, as I said, there's just these wolves lurking about, seemingly testing if we are delicious or not. They seem to still be evaluating.
Right.
And there's, of course, the creepy crows. One spooked me earlier.
Yeah, they're very odd. One of the creatures I would actually like to speak to if given the chance.
I don't know if it's... What was her name? The Raven Queen's influence? Or some perversion of that?
I would
don't like
guess
it.
the second. Or a remnant of what was.
At the very least, just stay inside here. And if anything comes, wake me up immediately.
Yeah, I have no intention of leaving this place for a second.
Like earlier, right?
Well, that wasn't really of my own decision.
I know. Just, if there's even the slightest bit, just kick someone.
Maybe I should, like, sit in the middle so, if something happens, I would have to step over someone and possibly kicking them.
Sure. You can always hold my hand and give it a squeeze.
Yeah.
I'll go to rest now. Good night,
All
Talah.
right.
She does take Nate's hand.
Awesome. Go ahead and give me perception checks.
Multiple.
How many would you like?
One is fine.
Oh. Goddamn it. I thought you wanted multiple. Not bad.
Nice.
Just like Pip, you start to see the pairs of eyes blink in and out. You also will notice in the few trees that are around, you can see those bone spiders beginning to move. Occasionally, you'll see one of the ghastly, sickly white ravens fly in. as the trees are starting to fill with the spiders and the birds, and there's not a direction you can look that there aren't a set of eyes. And that's the end of your watch.
So, she is gonna, like, lightly squeeze Pip's hand every now and then as these creatures gather up, but not enough to wake him, but more just to affirm to herself that he's there.
Nate is gonna keep waking up.
Take a
Sounds
point of
like he's
exhaustion.
not-
No, I'm just fine.
Sounds
No,
like he's
in
not
fact-
getting a full night's sleep.
No, you are. But in fact, I do want both of you to take a point of inspiration if you don't already have one.
Well, thank you.
And
Thank you.
I assume that you're going to wake Gobs up for her.
Yes.
Yeah, Gobs, when you wake up again, because you can see a little bit better in the dark, you see 40 or 50 of these wolves, even though they're sliding in and out of existence. Around, you see the birds. There's a whole flock of the white birds. Everything is beginning to gather. You don't even need a perception check at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna point out every bit that I have spotted gather when I wake her.
Yeah, it's unnerving, the number of them. The trees are literally crawling with dozens and dozens and dozens of the spiders. You can see flocks of the birds all settling into the trees. The wolves are circling. You even start spotting some of the deer in between the wolves and everything. You guys are drawing the attention of everything. Anything you'd like to do during your watch?
Other than flip off the wolves and birds and such, no.
Of course she does.
So, as everybody begins to wake up, all of these creatures are still around.
Uh-huh.
As dawn fully breaks, which again, because of the fog and everything, it's still dark. You suddenly feel the ground lift and expand as it's almost like that cathedral takes a breath. And you see, as this happens, all these creatures, the birds begin to drop out of the trees, the spiders curl and fall, the wolves howl and roar as they twist and fall, the deer try to run but fall over in mid-stride, and that purplish black mist that Othokent saw the wolf drink from the corpse of the deer a couple days ago, all of that begins to pour up and pull into these streams of whatever it is, and it twirls and it begins to all start to filter into the mouth and the eyes of the cathedral as something is drawing all of that desecrated energy back to itself. And after about 2 minutes, the expansion and the rumbling of the ground stops, and it compresses back to where it was. And everything around you is now barren. The trees are gone. The grass is gone. The corpses are gone. You're literally standing on blackened, ragged dirt. And there's nothing but you and the broken ground around you and the entrance to the temple, grinning at you in its own sadistic way. What would you guys like to do? And also, as a note, you start to see, even from the mists and the fog around, you're continuing to see this dark energy starting to pour into the temple.
I'd like to roll a wisdom save to see whether I'm frightened or not.
Oh, you don't have to save. It is a bit scary that all of that energy is pouring into where you're headed.
That is very unsettling.
Are we sure that's where we're gonna have to go?
I mean, we're looking for a place of death. I think, as far as places of death goes, this is the most deathy place I have ever seen.
And yet
We
it's
could
not
still turn around.
dead. It's...
Othokent simply says, "No, I cannot. If Dr. Burke went in there, we can go in there."
Yeah, I'm with Otho on this. Besides, turning around now, if we don't do this, someone else is going to have to.
I know this is unconventional. Can I roll insight on Otho?
Sure.
kind of want to do it too.
Go for it.
Yes.
I will say for Nate, you don't notice anything off from him per se. He's acting like himself. He doesn't seem like he's under any outside influence. Talah, I think you would recognize this a little bit better because of your experiences dealing with different types of people and seeing your father deal with different types of people.
Yeah.
Otho is letting... He's one of those... He's in that situation where his conviction is overriding any other sense of personal safety and things like that. So it's his conviction that this is something he has to do, so he's going to go do it. And you can kind of get the sense that he's going with or without you guys. Though he obviously wants you to go with him. He wants to do this as a group, but if you guys all turn back, he's still not turning back. There's a point when people get to that point, it's like, this is what I'm doing. I understand the consequences. He fully understands. He's of his own mental faculties, but he's going in that temple.
Yeah. He has a goal, and he's going for it.
Right, let's just stick close. Tell us what you see. If you're intending to go somewhere, let everyone know. And just stick together. We'll get through this.
It's probably dark as heck down there.
Oh, yes, it's likely going to be.
Before we head in there, though, last night I already spoke with Pip about this, but I'm a little scared to use my magic right now.
What's got you scared?
This entire place. The fact that nature isn't the way it's supposed to. The fact that I conjured a poppy that was affected by all of this. The creatures that walk around here, everything is in limbo, on the verge of death.
Nature isn't dead here. Nature is wrong. So I get it.
In that case, use your magic on me before you use it on the others.
I'm more speaking of my ability to shift into creatures.
Would you like to try out here before we try in there?
I would rather he didn't, unless necessary.
I believe if we was going to affect life, it would already have done so. We would have already been dead. So if you were to shapeshift, you would still be you in a different form. I do not see how it would affect you any differently.
Well,
I'm
you
just
are the
scared.
expert.
It's fine. Come here. He like grabs her like gently on the shoulders. You'll be fine. Your magic is strong. Your life force is strong. Whatever happened here happened a long time ago. These are the lingering effects. Ghosts and apparitions shouldn't terrify you. You're a living being strong. Druidcraft is a trick. You know it, just like prestidigitation, where I can clean things and create the small little flames and tiny little tricks like that. Powerful magics like what you see around you will definitely overpower it. Convert it and torture it around and twist it. But you yourself are more powerful than that. You'll be fine. We'll be there.
But your fear is still valid. We're
Nate!
here for you.
Don't listen to your doubts. Listen to your strengths. Have confidence.
And if you'd rather not shapeshift at all, then just don't. We'll find ways of dealing with things. Rely on other magics, then. You have different things, yeah?
I have some.
At this point, the ground begins to rumble again as it swells again, and another bunch of the fog, and from distance beyond your views, more of that another surge of the necromantic energy begins to swirl and twirl down inside the cathedral as it takes another breath.
Alright, so...
And then the ground settles again as it exhales.
So who's ready to head into the Maw of Death, literally? I am.
I'm not, but I guess I'll never really be.
Then let me take the first steps. If something happens to me, you all turn around and run away.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Otho in this.
Alright.
Otho just puts a reassuring hand on your shoulder, nods, and he definitely has, at this point, again, going off that same insight check, there's a determination there. Otho's always been the go along, get along guy, but there's a drive and a determination you haven't seen there before. So you do feel some comfort in that.
Yeah, that's why I went with him.
Anything else anyone would like to do before you walk up and proceed down into the gullet? There isn't a portal, but you definitely feel strong planar influence, but there's not a portal.
Yeah.
And it's not a good feeling.
You don't say.
Hey, you know? Alright. Anything else before you guys head down into the maw?
I imagine Gobs would like to take the lead, as she promised. And
Sure.
as she does, she's gonna mumble under her breath. Exodorius, I'm counting on you for this.
I'm casting bark skin on myself.
Yep, I will tell you, the bark looks like the bark of the dead trees.
Yeah. So that is very disturbing to Talah, but she's gonna go with what Abe told her.
It's just
So-
a visual effect.
So as you guys walk up and begin to walk down into the maw, how about we take a look at a map? You guys are at the top, should be the upper left-hand corner. And go ahead and place yourselves on the map. So you guys step in as you walk down a set of stairs, crumbled stairs. You get to a flat place. There are torches burning with a purplish light lit throughout here. And you're in a hallway that goes down, and then there is a portcullis to the, not a portcullis, but like an arch doorway down at the end of this hallway to the left.
Alright, I'm going to cast a spell once we're in here.
Okay, go for it.
I am going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
That should give me 20 temporary hit points at this point.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna let the arm shapeshift into the bladed arm.
Okay.
And then I'll start stepping forward with Otho right behind me because I can't be fucked to not move them together.
Abe's going to cast the invisibility.
Okay.
Talah is sticking to Otho like glue.
Perfect. Yeah, I told you, Doc, it's a big map.
It's a big map.
Yeah. Yep. And as you guys come in, it's eerily silent. I will let you know that. You don't see anything moving. You don't really hear anything.
How's lighting like?
There are purple sconched torches, so everybody can see just fine. But it's not a healthy light. It's that weird blackish purple light dancing all over everything.
We talking low light or regular lighting?
Regular lighting.
Alright. Is Abe coming with, or?
No, I'm staying at the entrance. Roscoe is too scared.
He'll catch up. We won't. I'm assuming he's moving with you until otherwise noted. All right. So when you get there, you see a thin hallway, and at the end of that thin hallway, I'm going to describe what you see so that when I reveal it, you don't freak out. Number one, you do see a very large, tall statue that has a feminine form, but you can't make out the details. And it's in the center of the room. And then there are four statues of skeletons in armor spaced evenly around the statue. Okay, but they are carven from stone, just to be clear. And I will reveal it now. And that's what you see.
That's a statue, alright. Anyone we recognize, people?
Well, assuming this was a temple to the Raven Queen, probably her.
You can see with her stance, she's standing there with one hand up and one hand outstretched, like open, like it's holding its hand out for something.
Well, let's take steps forward.
Yep.
As they're walking down, Gobs is gonna basically keep her head on a swivel for anything.
Alrighty. Go ahead and give me a perception or investigation check as you walk down the hallway.
Same.
There you go. Oh,
Abe's
that, it was a click on Gobs' sheet, but I had still had Otho selected, so it is Gobs.
Yeah.
It's the same bonuses and everything.
Okay.
Is it clear that Talah is on edge? Suddenly her perception's high.
Abraham, are you?
Yeah, because I got the invisibility, obviously.
Yeah, roll it. Okay. For Otho, Nate, and Abraham, just looks like a normal hallway. For Talah, it's a normal hallway.
Grr.
You know what this reminds me of? I remember seeing this movie about an old guy who was exploring a temple, had a whip. They had a bunch of these traps where the walls would suddenly squish people.
I
So
have a
I will
whip.
let you know nothing's going to happen. So if you want to put your characters in the room where they would be if they were looking around at stuff.
Again, sticking to Otho. So wherever we put Otho, that is where Talah is going to be. Of fucking
Abraham.
course, Abraham!
All right. So a couple things that you guys notice. So obviously it's a female statue, but the face has been carved into a skull-like face, and two probably deer antlers have been shaved down to be these long spiked horns have been attached to the side of the head. At the feet, there you can see where there may have been a plaque at one point has been removed, and there's in a rough carved and there's a roughly carved message into the base of the statue.
Which reads,
I'll tell you in a second. Does anybody else in the room know Abyssal?
I don't.
No.
Gobs doesn't. Let me check. Othokent?
Primordial?
Druidic and Sylvan. Orc?
No. Othokent also doesn't.
All right, so only Abraham can read this. It says, place a token from my realm in my hand to proceed to my heart. Or to proceed to the heart.
thank you. What? Hmm.
Raven Queen. A raven?
No, desecrated, carved and modified. And does that scrawling look original or added?
I mean, it was carved in after whatever plaque was on the statue was removed.
Okay, so it was probably around the same time as desecration.
So something from the realm of death?
What? I haven't told you what that said yet. I'm still considering.
Oh, my bad.
Oh.
I presumed you were reading out loud.
Yeah.
Nope. He reads it to himself and he's considering what it says. He's still hmming around. And what are these things over here?
Okay, so while he's pondering,
Yeah.
are there any carvings on the floor or on the walls, paintings, what have you?
There were murals that were on the wall, but they've all been very harshly defaced and crumbled up. And with the eons that have passed, it's hard to tell what they were.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Place a token of her realm.
Yeah, but is it?
Has he told us what it says
No.
now?
No, I'm looking at the skeleton thingies.
I'm just
As
thinking.
far as you can tell.
Yeah,
it's
and
a
I'm
statue
also
of a
thinking out loud.
skeleton.
It's a statue of a skeleton, thank you. Is it wielding weapons and stuff?
Yeah. It's got a shield and a sword. That are notably not stone. They're metal. And his accoutrement are metal, like his armor and stuff.
What's happening, Mr. Grissom? Can you use your outside voice?
Thank you. I don't know. This place is dangerous. Can you sense a portal at all?
Well, there was no portal, but there is certainly some kind of planar energy here.
Yes. I believe that if we interact with this in a certain way, we'll be whisked away to another realm. Or possibly killed? I don't know.
Doesn't sound like something we want.
What does it say?
Well, depending on who scrawled this desecrated line of text here, there used to be a plaque in place, so the plaque was removed, and whoever was doing the thing with the face carving and the antlers carved this in here. Place a token of my realm in my hand to proceed to the heart.
The way that the statue is looking right now, does it
Mhm.
resemble any other god, demon, fiend, what have you?
Give me that religion check.
8.
No, it's some kind of Nate. You know, you had
Talah thinks that out loud.
Jeez, Abraham.
Once
Okay.
Talah suggests, hey, so does she look like anyone else we know now? Suddenly Nate and Abraham take a closer look, and
So Nate, you would know because you had like in junior high, you had this friend who was a little edgy and painted his fingernails. That there is a god of the undead, and that he had a horse, his face was like a skull of a horse, and that's kind of what you see here. Abraham, it's Orcus.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
carved. It's carved into the shape of. Especially with the rudimentary horns on the side of it. Somebody took the Raven Queen statue, carved her mask in a way to make it resemble the face of Orcus, and then attached horns to the side of it.
Okay, so this is the demon god of undeath who desecrated the Raven Queen statue.
Bunch of
Oh.
puzzle pieces just clicked into place for you, Abraham. Also, the fact that all the necromantic energy that had been spread out over this wide realm is now like you feel the earth shake a little bit, and you can see that swirl of necromantic energy come down the hallway, swirl around the statue, and then dive into the wall to the south, and begin to it passes through that wall, and then it settles again. So every time the temple breathes, that necromantic energy, that desecration energy that's been out there is flowing in through here. It's drawing back its power.
So, could we re-desecrate this place to someone else?
no.
Consecrate it again? Do you need
I
your
guess-
body worship the Raven Queen?
Need
and
a
have
whole
s-
lot of power for that, probably.
Othokent says, it's beyond my capabilities, I believe. We're here to stop it, not repair it.
All right, I'm just asking. I don't know how this works.
I'm glad I came up with the idea of looking at it like it's a different god.
Yeah.
So, now that we know it's this Orcus guy, what kind of token would you give it to
Something.
be led to a different place?
I mean, what's he a god of specifically? I imagine
He's-
undeath looking around.
He's not a god per se, as he's a demon lord.
So, I'd say stereotypically some sort of sacrifice. Maybe kill something in his name, so a fresh kill?
He's known as the Lord of Blood, the Lord of Undeath, the mighty Orcus, and the shadow that was.
So, blood seems to be the obvious answer.
Or something related to undeath in and of itself, like soul steel.
I mean, we could always try blood first and see if that works.
Why are you so hung up on blood?
Because it's easily sourced. My
And
body is kind of full of it.
And how do you hold blood in your hand?
Same way I hold water in my hand. What are
You
talking
drip
about?
blood on top of its hand.
Yeah. I mean, we have a doctor here. We can do it in a sanitary way, even.
Othokent, isn't Lathander like super evil against this? I mean, super against this evil?
Yes, that's why he and his sister sent me here.
So can't he just do something about it?
He is doing
Yes,
something about
he
it by
sent
sending
me
him.
here.
Well, yeah, I meant more directly.
I doubt
hey,
he can.
we can
No.
point directly at it now and say, smite this.
No, the barrier that keeps us from traversing the realms also prevents the direct intervention. They can only act through us, not for us.
So again, if we are to get past this, I think we have to play along, quote unquote.
Gobs, do you believe that blood will open it?
I believe so. I believe it's the easiest thing to try. The next thing would be something in relation to undeath, but I'd rather not do that more than I have to. So
Othokent will walk up and he'll cut his hand
No!
and hold it over the open hand.
I absolutely hate it. Does he do the palm of his hand? Please tell me he doesn't do the palm of his hand. Because that is just.
Yeah, no, he does the bottom. It bleeds just as much and doesn't hurt you to hold stuff afterwards.
you could have
Thank
taken a
you.
sample from me.
My God, my blood.
All right, all right.
As the blood drips on that open hand, the fingers curl and close. And as they do, that wall, you see a face, a skull face form on it, and it opens its mouth wide as it gasps open. And there's now a doorway.
Like
However-
the face stretches open.
Yeah, it stretches open so you can walk through it. It's a gaping maw now. However, also at that moment,
The
the
skeletons come to
statues
life.
begin to move.
Yeah.
Also, crawling out of the floor come two spirits. Let me get them on the
Why?
map for you. Because that was not the blood of somebody who follows Orcus.
Well,
And this-
wouldn't this mean that Otho would be like right next to the statue, and so would Talah? Because again, she sticks to him.
Yeah, I would kind of think all three of you.
Are you
would be over there.
stealing my tokens?
Because
So
Otho would have had to
Otho.
walk up to the statue. Yep.
Otho next to AB. Do the AB boy.
Where? I never can find. There it is. I need token layer. At turn.
Doc.
Yeah, as ghostly shadows start
Yeah,
to crawl
what
out of the
is-
ground.
What did you say?
Move.
Are you going to move you and Othokent next to the statue?
Yes. I'm actually gonna switch our position since he would be by the
Yeah.
statue.
Yeah. Fair.
How are we so nice and bundled up together right now?
Also, you're stealing my shadow spawn. I will kill them and take them back.
I have my dogs back. No, they're mine now. One,
No,
two,
they
three,
are
four,
fitting for the
five.
situation. So yes.
Doop. And doop. And doop. And doop. And doop. Okay. So everybody else roll initiative. Otho, do I see a name? I see a name.
I have advantage on initiative and actually all my perception checks.
Holy
I
hell,
forgot that.
Nate, how did you get a 30?
I didn't.
Yeah, 20.
Why does it think you have a 30?
That's the old one, I guess.
Did you remove old initiative checks?
I don't see those.
No, but the GM does.
What did you actually get, Nate?
You deleted a token.
20!
Who did I delete? Oh, that was one of mine.
Yeah, one of the skeletons.
I mean, you
That's
could
okay.
just wipe it and then we do it again.
Yeah, just wipe it and we start over.
Nah. I'm good
Nah?
with it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
We'll
Alright,
say
so
that skeleton just started to move and crumbled.
okay, so I'm going to roll twice because I have advantage. 16.
Okay.
And now Otho.
Oh, my roll 20 froze. I'm gonna reload.
Did Otho take any damage from the whole draining of his own blood thing?
No.
Alright.
It was just a little poke.
Abraham. It's your turn, sir. Abraham?
Wheel. These appear to be like some sort of wraiths, ghosts,
Yeah.
shadows.
Yeah, shadowy, ghosty people.
Would I say I know what they are?
No. Because they're not the same thing you're used to.
Alright. I'm just asking because I actually see their HP bars. That's how I know you stole them from me.
I just stole the token.
Fair enough.
At least I think so. Do they have the same hit points? Yeah. Just stole the token. That's not their actual HP.
Alright.
Because I didn't steal them from you. I took them straight out of the book and dropped them.
But they have the same everything around as I put on them when I made the tokens.
Pretty sure I drug them out of the book.
I can also control
Doesn't
them.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
I think I'm going to focus my attacks upon this guy right here.
Okay.
Would its form and shape and whatever it is give me an idea if it might be resistant to a particular type of damage?
You can give me an Arcana check. It's a shade. Mainly it's non-magical attacks that it's good at avoiding damage from.
Necrotic.
Yeah, necrotic and poison, and it's vulnerable to radiant.
Don't think I have that.
You would also know that they're not that strong, so
Right.
unless they
Gonna hit it with the Scorching Ray.
go for
Target
it.
all three on it.
That hits. That hits. And that hits. Roll damage.
.29 fire damage.
I'm gonna say this. No, because it's Scorching Ray, you can't change
Redirect it.
Yeah. So you unleash all three blasts. The first two are more than enough to destroy this creature of shadow, and it's disexisted.
I wanted to make sure. That's why I spent all three, because I could have rolled lower than that.
Yeah, it's very, very much dead and gone.
Going to stay where I am. Yeah, I'm not going to move. Just thinking like how far I wanted to move, but decided not to. That'll be the it for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Nate, it's your turn, sir. What would you like to do?
So just these two shades.
And the
No.
skeletons all start to move.
Okay, they have started moving.
Yeah. Yeah, and that fourth one at the bottom, it took a step and completely crumbled in upon itself.
Okay.
So, because they're so old and decrepit, they looked like stone, but that's just how decayed and dried out their bones are.
That is fine. I am gonna point my bow and arrow at that
Okay,
one.
go for it.
Playing a warrior.
Okay, that hits.
So 11 force damage.
Crumples into dust.
And let's see.
Yeah, you hit, and even you hit the chest armor, and just from the force of the arrow hitting it, pushes it back in, and it causes this very, very brittle skeleton to just crumple apart and fall into nothingness.
Nice. And then this one.
Okay, go for it. When it comes to AC, meets it beats, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You hit. Yeah, you hit him right in the shield, and it's still enough. Just the force from the arrow is enough to cause it to crumple upon itself.
Nice.
And that is where he's gonna move, and Nate's turn is over.
All right, Talah, what would you like to do?
Talah. Let's see. Because she is still very unsure about using her magic. So she is going to use her sling and try and hit this one.
Okay. That hits.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
You hit it, and like its arm and jaw falls off,
Mhm.
but it is still holding itself together barely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty.
Like I said, she's still very unsure.
Gobs. Is your turn.
All right. So we got some things all around us. I am. Let's see. They're there. Okay, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast, I think,
Okay.
on that one over there.
Okay. Let's see it.
That is with. I'm still selecting Othokent, but it is Gobx. Othokent doesn't have that.
Okay.
So,
So yeah, that does not hit, unfortunately.
all right, I have more than one ray.
That one hits.
For 7 points of force damage.
All right. You hit it pretty squarely with the second hit. It's part of it dissipates, but it is still there, and it is beginning to move.
All right, let's see. I think I should also be moving myself.
Yeah, we're nicely huddled together, aren't we?
All around the Talah.
All around the Talah.
Actually, I started doing one move and then decided not to do that. So just ignore how weird this looks, okay?
No.
I'm gonna go straight over to the skeleton, just stand there.
Alrighty. Anything else?
No.
All right. The Shadow Spawn's turn
Rogue formation.
is going to screamingly crawl across the floor to get to there. And it is going to attempt to hit
Me.
Othokent.
Aww.
With an 8, it does not hit.
No.
And that's the end of its turn.
Someone's doing
Now
a code.
Othokent's turn.
All right, let's see with where it is and everything. Give me a moment. I'm looking up his spells. He's going to try and cast Primal Savagery at it. It's a cantrip.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out where he put them because he gave them all like funny meme names.
What?
Like in his list of attacks, he didn't name it Primal Savagery. He named it something else.
Ah.
I think it's this.
Can't you click it from the spell list?
I can, but that will not give me the attack.
Are you
Write it
sure?
out.
There you go. I have now clicked it.
That's weird.
I think it's this because it's the only one that deals acid damage.
Okay.
14 hits.
The Shade, it does.
16 points of acid damage.
It screams in horror as it dissipates into nothing.
And he's just going to end his turn after that.
All right. Last Skelly Boy. Gonna try to hit Gobs with his short sword. That is an 11, which I'm pretty sure does not hit.
No, it does not.
Abraham, it's your turn, my friend.
Cantrip the shit out of this guy.
Can't what?
Cantrip the shit out of this guy.
And his AC has been lowered because his shield arm fell off when Talah hit him with her sling.
Yay, Talah did something.
Hey.
Wait, real quick, your sling, what kind of damage does it do?
Bludgeoning.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Says it do.
I apologize. I fibbed then. Talah, you killed that guy. He's
What?
vulnerable to bludgeoning. So I apologize. So when Talah actually shot him earlier, it hit him right in the jaw and he crumbled.
Oh.
So I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Thank you?
Yep. Sorry about that. I just saw that on their sheet. And that is the end of combat.
All right.
So question, because I'm looking at the time. Are you guys good to go about another 30 minutes, or do we need to stop here?
I'm good with going another 30.
I can
good.
go.
I'm good with it.
Cool. So yeah, Gaping Maw here at the bottom with a corridor behind it.
All right.
I'm really glad I still know how to use that thing.
I mean, it seemed to do a number on it, so if you see other skeletons, do that again.
So, moving on.
Yes.
I think so.
I'll say let's enter the inviting mouth of the skeleton.
Nate, do you sense anything from there?
Awesome. Hold there. As you get there, as you step in through the mouth, you can see the corridor leads down. You can see this hallway is intricately carved along the walls of different people. Like just all you see, it's like nondescript faces. They're like kind of blank faces, like no face on it at all, but they're people. Just people all over the walls. And there is something inscribed on the door that's in front of you down the way, but you can't really see it from there.
Can we do something about the deformation of the statue? It feels wrong to leave it like this.
Are you able to do something? Like, you're a nature person. What are those people usually called?
Druid?
Yeah, that. Can you like shape stone and stuff like that?
If I were to have that prepared, yes. But I mean more like at least take the horns off or something.
If you want to do that, then sure, I don't see any reason not to. I'm all for defacing statues, so let's do that, actually.
Okay, you guys take the time to boost Gobs up, and you're able to at least take the antlers off.
Yeah, I want to kind of clean up the statue of the Raven Queen as much as possible.
Oh, I was just gonna shoot them off.
Oh.
Our ideas are very different.
Well, she would stop you if you were actually trying to destroy the goddamn statue.
Like I was saying, let's get them off. Sure, starts aiming with the arm. And then when you explain what you actually want to do, I'll go along with that instead.
Yes, thank you. That'd be nice.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
Okay, so long hallway, door at the end.
Who's up for going down the creepy hallway?
Not me, but we're going.
Yes, we are. Stay behind me, please. At least 5 feet.
Sure.
Hold there.
Do you guys hear that?
No.
Yeah, it's like constant whispering.
Yeah, you can continue moving if you'd like.
I can't hear anything.
It's audio in Roll20.
Oh, I get that.
It's quiet at this moment on purpose. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
continue.
Turned it up to 100. Now I can hear something slightly.
Yeah.
Looking at the faces on the walls.
At this point, you can tell that there are faces on the door where they actually have faces. So there's 4 people on the door, and they do have faces. You'd have to get closer to examine the faces.
That's...
I'm not really looking to examine them. I only want to know if the mouths move.
They are not moving.
Okay.
But you can tell, even at the distance you're at, that they do have different expressions on them, but what they are, you can't tell.
Okay.
So...
Also, for anybody who's watching the stream, if you could tell us if you can actually hear it. I can't remember if I have the sound turned on for the stream view.
I mean, we can check too.
It's running.
Awesome. So as you get up to the doors, there are 4 people standing with 4 different appearances on their faces. There's also a script at the bottom. This one is written in... does anybody speak Elvish?
May I recommend you move stream view down? It's still looking the big room.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a dear Nate.
Same with Abraham.
Talah?
Nope,
It
I don't speak
so for-
Elven.
Okay.
So, for those of you that speak Elvish, it says add your voice to the Hall of Echoes to proceed. And as you look at these faces, the first one, so I'm going to say you're going to, are you going to, we're going to focus on them one at a time. So the first face, specifically, it has a very sorrowful figure with downcast eyes, their tears running down their cheeks. It's definitely an expression of deep grief, furrowed brows, mouth set in a obviously mourning line. And it's so deeply engraved into the wall. It's kind of like, those masks you'll see that are those art things where they're deeply engraved. So when you move, it's like the face moves with you. That's the effect from it. And underneath the face, like they're standing there, and it's kind of like one of those old inscription of like a saint, right? And they've got their hands up towards their chest, and there's a heart, and the heart is broken and cracked down the middle. And as you focus on it, the other voices fade back, and you can hear specifically one set of voices.
I failed to protect those I swore to defend, and the memory haunts me every day. I willingly sacrificed innocent lives for my own gain, and the shadows of their screams never leave me. The loss of my home and everything I knew left me empty and wandering in despair.
So it wants us to add our voices to the chorus, so it wants us to say the same type of thing they're saying. And from those voices, it sounds like it's regret, heartbreak.
Loss.
And the understanding you get from, or actually, anybody who'd like to give me an insight check.
Yes. I rolled a 3.
Okay. So Talah, you're the one who kind of understands this the best.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just I had a really bad day at work sadness. Between the echoey voices you hear and the look on the face of this carving, this is the saddest moment in their lives.
Question if is one of us sharing it is enough, or it has to be all of us.
Good question.
I don't know. Though I believe the saddest moment in my life hasn't happened yet, and I really hope it won't.
In that case, may I try?
Sure.
When I realized my mother has sold me out for petty cash and never loved me, saw me as a burden, and now an easy payday.
You hear that trail of voices echo again in the same order before, but after the last one, Gob's voice joins with it and echoes up and down the hallway. And that face that was gray granite stone, color seeps into it. You see the blue tears running down the face, the crimson heart, the golden robes around it. And you hear a distinct clicking sound as you've added your voice to the Chamber of Echoes and satisfied the first voice.
I mean, that's likely no surprise to any of you, so...
the echoes of the voices begin to come back as you pay attention to the next face. This face shows a much more serene and contemplated figure with a calm,
You
peaceful
started the
expression.
voices when you're explaining.
Yeah.
Yep, I did. Is it distracting? Sorry.
Yes.
It's drowning you out completely.
Yeah.
Is it really? I didn't think
Yeah.
it was that loud. Sorry. So it's a much more serene, contemplative figure with a calm, peaceful expression. Their eyes are closed with a faint, like a contented smile on their face, as if they're listening to something beautiful. You see around the edges of the face there are musical notes, symbols for different types of music and things like that. And again, the voices start to come in a bit more clearly as you focus on this face.
The melody of my grandmother's lullaby always brings me peace. The sound of my children's laughter is the most beautiful music to my ears. The rhythmic chants of our village's rituals filled me with a sense of belonging and tranquility. The echoes of the war drums I used to command remind me of the power I wielded and the fear I instilled. The silence after a battle, when the screams are gone and only the wind remains, is a relief I cherish.
So the happiest moment, I'm guessing.
Again, we can get insight checks if you would like.
Boom.
So I'll say that all of you get the impression that it is definitely listening for something happy. But Talah specifically, you'll know that it's that, especially when you listen to the voices, they weren't just talking about things that made them happy. They were talking about their favorite sound.
I will relay this to the others.
That one I don't know. Something by Screaming Deathfist, I imagine.
Allow me.
Go ahead. They're making space so you can step up.
Okay. I don't know if I have to step up, but okay.
If you got something.
Whenever my best friend plays his flute, it gives me a spark of hope.
Nate, you need to roll against emotional damage on that one. But you hear those same voices start to echo again behind you, and at the very end, Talah's voice loops in as this one, the color comes in as well. A much more ruddy, happy color on the face, royal blues throughout the cloak, and then yet another clicking sound. As we focus on the third face, the third face is displays a figure who's got a slightly downturned gaze. There's definitely a look of vulnerability and introspection. The mouth is open slightly as if they're about to speak a secret or a confession. And there's symbols of chains or locks around the face and binding them, which represents something very specific. So once again, I will play the voices as you hear them. And if you want insight checks, by all means do so.
I stole medicine to save a child's life, knowing it would cost me dearly. I betrayed my allies in a secret alliance, leading to their defeat and my own advancement. I orchestrated the assassination of my brother to claim his inheritance and power. I abandoned my comrades in their time of need, and the shame of my cowardice haunts me. I forged documents to frame a rival and ruin their reputation for my own gain. I stole medicine to save a child's life, knowing it would cost me dearly.
Are we going to get insight checks from Milla and Doc? Or from
Yes.
Othokent?
Sorry, I was just listening. By the way, this is really great voice work.
Thank you. This is not a voice filter at all, and I did all of this, so it's just an echo effect on it.
It's something that I helped him check out with audios and stuff in here.
Nice. So Talah, you obviously get that these are people that are making confessions, and so does Othokent. Milla, what you notice is it's not just a confession. It is a deep, dark secret that nobody else would know except for themselves. So something they're regretful for. So they're making a secret confession. So it's got to be something, not just something we're sad about or something we feel bad about. It's got to be something that's secret that nobody else knows about.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'll stop the voices. Sorry. So, who has a dark secret confession they want to add to the voices?
I forgot to hold down my push to talk. I'm definitely going to share what I gather, that it seems like it's not just confessions. It's more, deep, dark secrets that they can tell no one about or have never told anyone about. I'd say if anyone has that, we could probably all, take a step back. But it is going to echo through the hall, so I don't really know if that does anything that we're stepping away, because it's going to be echoing here.
I don't know if I have anything like that.
I don't know if the thing I have is a deep dark secret, or if it even constitutes as that anymore.
I mean, you can always give it a try. The worst thing you can do is not accept it.
Sure. But how to phrase it, I'm not entirely sure. It's probably not it, but sure. And Nate walks up gingerly in multiple ways.
We know he's a ginger.
Do you want us to take a few steps back, Nate? Give you some space?
No, it's fine. It's just, it feels kind of awkward talking to a wall, even though I do that often.
Talah's gonna grab Pip's hand.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Talah knows exactly what he's about to say.
That was so well played. Did you spend your inspiration? If not, take another. If you did, take another one.
I haven't.
No, I was talking to AM.
I still have it.
Just a little. Yes. Yes. Not helping.
I am not sure that she is thinking the right thing here.
Mm-hmm.
So when I learned that I was going to die when I killed the Heart of Winter and saved Talah and everyone, I was content. I was fine with it. I was happy, and I was fine with being the end, even though I was keeping it a secret from the ones I feel the most for.
The voices echo once again, adding Nate's to it, expressing his comfort and almost relief of the fact that At the end, all he has to do is die. And as that happens, you see on the relief, the head bows a little bit more, the shoulders relax, the chains loosen as color filters into it. And you hear the third click. And now we look at the last face. This face, where are my descriptions? I scrolled down to look at something. And I lost it. Where is it? Where is it? Is it up here? Crud. Hold on. Let me get back to my descriptions for these. I wrote them out so I wouldn't stumble over myself trying to describe them.
I'm very happy we extended today because this is gold.
Uh-huh.
What?
This moment is just amazing.
It's good.
It's great. First,
Come
Talah
on.
makes Nate happy, and then Nate kills Talah.
Here we go. Sorry about that. So this last feature, last face, is standing tall, standing very proud, a triumphant expression with a slight grin. The eyes are actually, unlike the other ones, are very bright, made out of silver or some other shining thing. It's surrounded by symbols of victory, such as, laurel wreath, stars, banners flying. And upon this one, you start to hear the last set of voices.
I healed an entire village from a deadly plague with a cure I created. I built a school for the impoverished, giving children the opportunity to learn and thrive. Deceived the kingdom into war, allowing me to seize control and enslave the population. I led a successful campaign to defend my homeland from invaders, ensuring its safety. I amassed great wealth through deceit and treachery, and my riches now secure my dominance. I healed an
What's a kingdom?
Like a mayor of a very big city.
Isn't the only big city, like real big city, Gilgamesh?
Sure. I read a fairy tale once. Their
So,
kingdoms.
Talah and Gobs, you get the impression with this one, it's very much their proudest moment, their conquering triumph. Whatever made them proudest in their life is what these voices are trumpeting.
That one's for Abe.
So yeah, proudest moment. Should be simple enough, I hope.
Abe steps up, becoming a dad.
Yeah, I mean,
Finally proving I was not insane all those years, is what I imagine.
Oh, that's a good one.
Pretty much.
uh,
Finding the Ethereum Sanctum after all the wasting my life trying to find it.
As you say that, the color returns everything, the bright green laurels, the golden stars, and Abraham's voice is added to the final part of the echo chamber of echoes. And as the voices all return and begin to echo, the doors crack and open up, revealing the next hallway and the entrance to what appears to be a maze. And that's where we're going to end this week's session.
Amazing.
Can Abe get the opposite of inspiration somehow?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's called you got to let Nexus roll for you next week.
Hmm.
It's the opposite of inspiration.
Wow.
I feel like
But-
that's harsher.
But as always, we appreciate everybody who is following along with us. Hopefully, we enjoyed the little bit of a different little puzzle there. So I had fun putting that together, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. But that's the end, folks, and we will see you all next time.
See you guys.
Bye.